Hey, what's going on, you guys? Welcome back to another episode with iTrack. Big shout out to all the iTrack fam, man. I appreciate you guys for tapping in yet again. If this is your first time here, what we like to do is take a look at the most interesting and creepy TikToks and kind of evaluate for ourselves whether these are fact or fake. If you haven't already, go ahead and smash that like button for me. Smash that subscribe button if you're not already a part of the iTrack fam. And without any further ado, let's go ahead and get right into it.
Out cold like this. And the car's in bumper to bumper traffic moving along.
Yeah.
Have you seen it, right?
That's, I think, an old video. We changed software where if you don't touch the wheel, it will gradually slow down and put the emergency lights on and wake you up.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
When you program something like that in, is this in response to go, hey, they shouldn't just be able to fall asleep. Let's wake them up.
Falling asleep, we've got to do something about that.
Right, but when you first released it, you didn't consider it, right? You're just like, well, no one's going to just sleep.
People fall asleep in cars all the time.
All the time.
And crash.
Yeah.
At least our car doesn't crash. That's better. Yeah. It's better not to crash. Imagine if that guy had fallen asleep in a gasoline car. They do it all the time.
For sure, yeah.
Then they would crash into somebody.
Yeah.
Yo, this feels so illegal to know. This is why you gotta be careful posting stuff on the internet, because whatever you delete can be found, and I found it. For example, if you have a Twitter and you're posting a lot of stuff, and this is all in the past, right? And you decide that you want to be a better human, and then you just like start removing stuff and deleting all your messages and comments off of, like, you know, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, just so you won't get caught up. But if someone knows about this tool, then it doesn't even matter, because they can just do this. Let me show you. So what you want to do is type this in right here, hit enter. Then you want to click this right here. And this is not just for like deleting messages. This is for books and websites, absolutely anything. So if they once had it on their website and they took it down or modify it, it will be here. So for news articles, absolutely everything. So now let's go for Twitter. So I went on Twitter, copy my URL and put status, because when you make a post, that's what it is. Look what happened when I hit enter. Bro, this is all the stuff I deleted, and it goes way back. Let's click one of these. All right, it's loading. Yo, this is crazy.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad Elon took that feature out of the Teslas, because it's kind of nerve-wracking watching somebody in the middle of their third dream and in the lane next to you. And as far as being able to dig up old tweets, man, I know a lot of you guys are shaking in your boots right about now.
I'm Savannah. And it is our 2-year anniversary. Officially 2 years. We've been dating for 2 years, but we've known each other forever. You didn't just see something come in here?
The dogs are ready for bed. It's just a peaceful night here. Get ready to go to bed myself. What the fuck is that? What? Oh, God! Fuck!
Hey, vente.
Yeah, it's for Stan.
I won't break them.
Michelle's getting like really good at the drums. So you might have some competition when you get back. We love you. We'll see you soon.
Go.
Now, I ain't gonna lie, that all looked creepy. Whether it was real or not, I can't call it.
Okay guys, I think I found a real life glitch. This is honestly so trippy, okay? I did not manipulate these photos. I have not edited these photos. You are going to just watch this video and you're gonna see something crazy, or maybe it's just me. So you're gonna take a look. Right here in the center, you're gonna stare at the cross in the center of these pictures. Now, don't get distracted and look elsewhere. Focus all of your attention at the cross in the middle of these photos. Now, as these photos start to change, you're going to see some of these faces, I don't know, like start to look like they've got some alien-like features, some reptilian-like features, but these photos are not edited, so I don't really understand how this is possible or what you're seeing. If you don't believe me, you can watch it again and only look at one photo at a time. You'll see that they're not edited photos at all. So if anyone can explain what the heck is happening, please let me know and follow for more.
Now, I ain't gonna lie, he was right. I saw aliens and reptilians. Let me know what you saw.
I can't even believe that this is a public statement. This is tragic news. So Tyler Perry just halted an $800 million expansion of his studio after he saw those AI videos going around using Sora, which if y'all don't know what that is, I'll show you in a second. But listen to his statement. I no longer would have to travel to locations. If I wanted to be in the snow in Colorado, I'd text. This is like the first major effect AI is having on Hollywood, an $800 million effect already. And this just doesn't look good for the future of art in Hollywood. So this is text to AI, which means you just type in a prompt and this video comes up. This is completely fake. It's AI generated. It's not real. But this is how good it's looking already, right? Just imagine what this is going to be in 5 more years, 10 more years. Yeah, so it's advancing so fast and it's getting so much better, and it'll cut so many costs that if Tyler Perry's making a public statement like this, imagine what the other gigantic studios are already having discussions about. It's sad.
Now, for him to put a stop on that kind of construction is saying a lot.
If you look at the word Anarchy, it means from the heavens to the earth came. What does that really mean? There is a power structure within the Anarchy that is in control of this planet. Anu and his 2 sons, Anu, Enki, and Enlil. And Anu's presence hadn't been here. Anu hadn't been here in a long time. Enki and Enlil had been at war for the blue and the red. These are the 2 colors. Blue being Enki, red being Enlil. Look at any of the flags. See the war throughout any film, you see the war between the red and the blue colors, and that is representative of those 2 brothers fighting throughout this spot we're in. We're coming to the conclusion of that.
Take a look at what happened in Orlando, Florida, you guys. So they heard a huge bang, and when they went to look outside, they saw this huge cloud of smoke, and out of the cloud of smoke came this. Check this out.
Exploded, and now this is in the sky. Oh, look. What is that? What is that?
Oh my goodness.
Oh my God. Something exploded. What is that? I can't. I'm recording. I don't want to move. I gotta record this.
Y'all see that square cloud? Y'all see that square cloud? And the light disappeared? Y'all see that square cloud? Now, do y'all think is them boys trying to leave out of the firmament and the aliens coming through to knock them out? Because that light just appeared out of nowhere and it disappeared.
That's an airplane.
That's a plane right there. But yeah, remember they said they were trying to leave. They're going to try to leave the firmament and the aliens are going to come. Yeah, look at that, y'all. Orlando, Florida.
I eat children. I eat children. How old are you? 12. Oh, okay. Only to 10.
Only to 10.
Good.
You're safe.
That's good.
Children and pineapple.
The street, which is fine. Zentrex gave me my life back. Hail Satan. Hail Satan.
My name is Roy, and and for the most evil invention in the world contest, I invented a child. You better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout. I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming. Everybody. Hey, there we go.
Now that's a little creepy, I'm not gonna lie. The way they splice all those specific pieces together like that. And I hear he's going through a little bit of legal trouble, so that's, a little much.
The fact that there is a God is the biggest conversation worldwide, but the truth of the matter is there is more reason for you to believe there is a God than there is for you to not. Like the way that things interact, the fact that it was already set up on this planet for there to be medicines for us to find and to utilize. And you see what I'm saying? It's not like, oh, yeah, he made a cow. No, to make a cow, it means you had to also have made grass. And it means you would have had to have invented a whole new eating system for this animal, which was cud. And that means you would then have to have given him 3 stomachs to be able to, and you would have to have known that he was going to then emit a gas that was going to be necessary on the planet. Like, none of these things
fertilizer,
are
all of it.
right. The fact that everything goes together is how
pretty wild. And every time we step in and fuck with it, it goes haywire.
Predictably haywire.
Haywire.
That's part of the benefits of free will. Is you really can jump into a volcano, dude.
Yeah.
You really can.
Structure to us in everything, all of it, does seem remarkable.
In a no mistakes type of way.
In a synchronistic sort of a way.
Which flies in the face of the accidental Big Bang, nothing from nothing way of thinking. And it always has been. Our perfect habitat is so perfect that anyone universally with sense would say, whew, location. You know?
Like the greatest real estate agent ever.
If the moon or the sun were further back, we'd
be fucked.
Yeah, or
or
closer. Or like the whole thing is, someone later saying, do you think Beverly Hills was, you think this was an area they built on purpose? Yeah. That's why NASA and Space Force are not more forthcoming, because the further you get in space, the more obvious shit is. Like, once you're up there and you're looking down, this shit doesn't look like there is no God. It looks like you're in the middle of somebody's workshop and they just showed you every single way that every star can be made, every single way a planet can be made, every way that a black hole can be, a galaxy, a universe, and then showed you the best of the best.
It's the spot. I mean, in our solar system, we're the best neighborhood that's ever existed. They all suck. Every other planet sucks. But isn't that odd, though, that a creature, if you think of human beings as a creature, that a human being that's never created a being itself has this idea that a magical force that is all-knowing and all-loving created, not they evolved, not they came from this and they learned, they got better, but that they were created. And that seems like a universal story, the created story.
Yeah, because what you're looking for is you need to find a mistake. That's how we would know maybe there's no creator. But we don't go through our regular life seeing things and thinking nobody created it. Like, that would be as weird as us being in this room going, nobody made those curtains, nobody made these cameras,
right?
Nobody made, like, what? We never have evidence of that. Well, I'm saying your DNA is either fused or it's not. If it is, it requires a fuser.
Cat Williams is just simply undefeated. Every single point that he makes, I mean, I definitely received that. It's a fact.
So I have not officially been contacted by any intelligence agency. But I start to wonder, well, is there somebody I know that's undercover CIA or undercover FSB, undercover anything?
You probably do.
Have you asked yourself this question?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, people that have been on my podcast. Yeah, for sure.
You think there was actual a guest that may have been?
100%.
Oh, man.
I would imagine.
Would you know?
I have suspicions.
Do you care? Is this...
I mean, it depends on what they're attempting to do, right? Like, if I felt like there was some deception involved and they were trying to use the podcast to manipulate a narrative in a deceptive way to trick people into things, yeah, I would care.
But this is exactly what... Those are the kind of things they do. They do plant narratives.
Yeah. I mean, I would imagine if you have the #1 podcast in the world, that people would want to infiltrate that.
Yeah, there's probably meetings in all major intelligence agencies about, okay, what are the large platforms? How do we spread the message.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing that really emerged when we were talking about during my cancellation, that there's a clear, there's no objective analysis of this in mainstream media. There's clear narratives that they're trying to push forward to, whether it's to promote certain ideas or to diminish the power and reach of people who are mavericks or people who are, who aren't connected to a system that you can't compromise. That's where it gets dangerous, right? Where it gets dangerous is when someone has the largest reach, but is also completely detached and clearly is independent in the sense of independent thinking, has on whoever he wants.
But your mind can still be manipulated.
I guess I can. I mean, I guess everybody can be manipulated a certain way. I manipulate my own mind, I'm sure, too. But I also spend a lot of time thinking about what I think. I don't just accept things. Like the UFO thing. Like, I was all in for a while, and now I'm like, man, something smells fishy.
Yeah.
I'm in it, and then I'm thinking, like, why? Here's my problem with the UFO thing. I want it to be real so bad.
Yeah.
That's my problem with it. I'm such a sucker. I want it to be real so bad, and that's a problem for me because I'm aware of it. And so then I stop and think about, like, what is my desire for UFO truth to be exposed? Well, it's because it's fun. That's what it is. So I have a desire for it to be real.
And I mean, I've talked to a bunch of folks about this. So those with connection with DOD, and they do draw lines between people that are full of shit and people who are not. There's a lot of people in the public sphere that they say are full of shit.
Yeah, for sure.
And you have to kind of tell the difference.
Yeah, CNN. Watch them talk.
Well, I mean, even yes, true.
Everybody knows.
On the UFO topic.
The UFO topic.
There's certain individuals that are like, okay, they're just like using this. In fact, like people who are not full of shit are often very quiet.
Right.
Which is why, even Bob Lazar is an interesting story because he was trying to be quiet for the longest time.
Well, he was worried about his own life, according to Bob, and that's why he went public with it. And initially, the first videos he did with George Knapp, they hid his identity.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then he felt like that wasn't enough, and he really needed to expose his own identity just to protect his life, which is a great story. So you got to go, well, that seems so juicy. I want to buy into it. Yeah. And that's where I get nervous.
You don't know who to trust in this world.
Exactly.
How do you figure that out? How do you figure out who to trust in your life? You're Joe Rogan. A lot of people want to be close to you. CIA agents, FSB agents, people that want.
I'm friends with a former CIA agent, Mike Baker, who's been on my podcast a bunch of times.
Allegedly former.
Think
about that.
He's air quotes former.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't believe he's former. I'm sure he has some connection to him. I also believe he's a good guy. But I gain a lot of very intelligent and well-informed insights from him as to how things work. And, I think, I'm sure he doesn't tell me everything about everything, but he's told me enough where I think I can understand things better from talking to him about how the way, the elves work under.
Yeah, free thinkers will always get in the most trouble, and you never really know who you're talking to these days.
Looking at this lawsuit, right, Lil Ron, he alleges that, Diddy told him personally that he had sex with Usher. And when you look at the lawsuit, even though they got Usher's name redacted, you could tell who it is because they describe him as the guy that performed at the Super Bowl.
Right.
So, I mean, we all know who that is, but how you feel about that, man?
Well, I mentioned that earlier, that he said about Stevie J. The Usher part, that's a touchy situation, man. But he got on Shay Shay and he mentioned how great and how good Puff taught him and everything. You know what I'm saying? About the business. I know, and people know, that was around that in that time that Puff and Usher did have a situation. And that situation led Usher to the hospital. Now I let Usher explain that to y'all. I let Usher tell that story. But how dare you say a man that groomed you, you gonna give him a pass? Now I'm telling that because you taking up for somebody that you know and a lot of more people know didn't do you right. Let Usher explain that to you. Let Usher mama explain that to you. And the hospital was in Scarsdale, New York.
I don't know about you, but I can tell that that security guard is completely ready for all the smoke.
It is February 28th, 29th, 28th, 29th. I have got me a better quality camera to catch this thing in the sky. And holy moly, I am scared. I'm scared, but I'm not going to trip because I've been catching this thing for a while now. It's very ominous. There he is. There he is. There he is. There he is. It's a huge face looking right down on us. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit brighter. There he is. There's the moon. Oh, I lost it. There it is. Let's see if I can get a better picture on the moon like it's supposed to. Is my hand in front of the thing or something? Alright, here we go, here we go. There it is.
Look at that.
Yep, there it is. There it is.
The camera makes it so clear.
There it is.
If any one of my subscribers actually has a video of that man next to the moon, let me know. We can make a video about it. We could actually, make this kind of an event, because I've seen a few different other videos that are close to it, and I'm like, we have to either debunk this or something by this point.
This weird image is from Arizona. Now look, I've never seen anything like this in my life before, and there's a few more pictures of this event. I have no idea what that even is. Let me show you a better view of that same situation. Look at this. There's like 3 rings of light, and the middle one appears to have some kind of beam going through it. I've never seen something like this before. I mean, seriously, ever in my life have I seen something like this before? Now there's another image that's a little more zoomed in, but I gotta say something. There's a lot of strange stuff going on in our world lately, and it's not all lens flares and CGI. It's just my opinion, but it seems like something is happening and something may have changed. So when I see something like this, I start to wonder, where did I go? Did I leave my Earth and join Bizarro Earth? Cause my Earth didn't have weird stuff like this popping up in the sky. Let me know if you know what this is, or if you've ever just seen anything like it. Okay, shabadoo booskies, shabadoo.
Oh yeah, those are just light portals that lead to Stargate 1. No biggie.
Do you believe the Earth is flat? I know the Earth is flat. Seriously? Astrology and flat Earth or true Earth are symbiotic. You cannot have one without the other. If you have a ball and you are spinning, flying through space, chasing this fireball, your constellations would change every now and then. And our constellations have never changed. The stars have never changed. We have the same 12 zodiac signs that we had back in the Dendera stones in Egypt over 5,000 years ago. We're not moving. Every single ancient society knew this. The Mayans, the Aztecs, the Hindus, the Egyptians, every single ancient culture knew that we live in a geocentric universe, not a heliocentric, where we are spinning, chasing this ball of fire while all of these other planets are rotating around us, while all of these other stars are rotating around us. If that was the case, Polaris would move, number one, which is the North Star, and it doesn't. Number two, all of the constellations would not rotate solely around Polaris, but they do. Therefore, we are the center of the universe. Believing in the Big Bang Theory is something that is very common today, where people think, we're the product of an accident and that, we don't have a creator. We're just here to consume and live our best life and not live up to our potential. But if you're the center of the universe, that means that you're very special. That means that you have a creator who is very conscious and cares about you. And when you see yourself as being watched by these heavenly bodies above you 24/7, you start to take your life a little bit more seriously.
Turn now to a series of stories that we are doing this week on how U.S. food regulations have left American consumers exposed to chemicals and additives that have been banned in other countries.
Potassium bromate is a suspected carcinogen that's banned for human consumption in Europe as well as China and India, but legal in the US. where it's used by some food makers to strengthen dough and estimated to be present in over 100 products.
There is evidence that it may be toxic to human consumers, that it may even either initiate or promote the development of tumours.
Professor Eric Millstone is an expert on food additives and told us European countries take a much more cautious approach to food safety.
Can we say for sure that these differences in regulations mean that people in the US have developed cancers that they would not have developed if they'd been eating only in Europe?
I think that is almost certainly the conclusion that we could reach.
It's not just potassium bromate, but many other chemicals and substances that are banned here in Europe over health concerns, but considered safe by the FDA.
Do you think most Americans are aware that they're being exposed to substances that are viewed as dangerous over here?
They probably just think, well, if it's available and it's in the store, then it's probably fine.
Is food safety a part of that decision?
For sure, yeah. How am I going to protect my children when it's just everywhere?
I really want to make this point. If you came down, as an alien to Earth, to the United States, and saw what was going on, 80% of adults obese or overweight, metabolic dysfunction, 8 of the 10 top killers tied to food, just getting away from our evolution, right? You'd have a clear policy recommendation. Let's really focus on food. Let's focus on teaching kids how to exercise, how to meditate, to get control of their mind, how to eat healthy. That would obviously, anyone 100% of the time would say that's the policy recommendation. That's not what we do. We wait for everyone to get sick and then drug them, and it's much more expensive. In the United States, and this is an important point going back to Ozempic, the obesity drug, because the system's so rigged, because pharma spends 3 times more than any other industry on lobbying, the United States is not even able to negotiate the drug price, even though they're the largest payer. So Ozempic, prices don't go down when volume goes up. Prices are going up in healthcare and quality is getting worse. So Ozempic is $2,500 a year. It's not going down. There's a full court press for government subsidization, taxpayer funding. It literally, this sounds hyperbolic, but this is the case. If that is prescribed how it's projected, that will be trillions of dollars over the next 10 years.
Money can't, and a lot of, I ain't gonna say no names, but a lot of these people that y'all want me to be with be fake on the low gay, be mentally and physically and verbally.
And I vowed, that's why I'm, maybe some people would describe me as abrasive or bitchy or whatever, because I vowed from that age, no man would ever call me out my name, treat me like that.
Well, after the allegations about Meek and Diddy indulging in freak-offs together, people are revisiting some of the things Nicki has said about Meek in the past. And the details are way messier than you could ever imagine. What's even crazier is Nicki was reportedly planning to expose everything about Meek in her upcoming documentary, but he sent her a cease and desist before it could be released. The crazy thing about this is that Nicki tried to warn us about this a few years ago when she exposed Meek for being on the DL and putting his hands on her, but no one took her seriously. People were too clouded by their hate for her to even listen to what she was saying. Okay, so as most of y'all know by now, Meek Mill has been getting dragged for filth on social media after he was exposed for being Diddy's freak-off partner. This was put on blast in an explosive $30 million lawsuit filed against Diddy by producer Rodney Jones. Rodney said Diddy coerced him into coming to stay with him so that they could work on his album. However, he ended up seeing some really disturbing things. He claimed Diddy laced his drink and SA'd him several times. Now, this is where things get even messier because Rodney went on to detail how he saw Diddy's sons, Christian and Justin Combs, as well as Meek Mill, Young Miami, and Usher at the parties Diddy organized. He accused Miami of ordering her cousin to perform acts on him while he was barely conscious enough to make her stop. He said he saw Justin and Diddy messing with some of the girls Miami had hired to come to the party, and they were doing some questionable things. He even went as far as accusing Diddy's youngest son, Christian Combs, of drinking and SAing a woman. He then went on to expose Meek Mill and revealed that Diddy personally told him that he had hooked up with Meek Mill and Usher. He said Diddy told him he made Stevie bust it open with the promise of him getting a Grammy. Now, as for Meek and Usher, he didn't explicitly mention their name, but the description he gave about them was more than enough to make us know who he was talking about. He described Meek as the Philadelphia rapper who dated Nicki Minaj. and hinted at Usher by saying the R&B singer who performed at the Super Bowl and had a successful Vegas residency. The lawsuit stated Mr. Combs informed Mr. Jones that he had engaged in intimate stuff with rapper and R&B singer and Stevie J.
Yikes, it just gets messier. It doesn't seem to stop with this guy, I swear. Well, you guys, hey, that's another one in the books. I appreciate you for stopping by yet again and watching another one with me. If you haven't already, go ahead and smash that like button for me. Smash that subscribe button, and I will definitely catch you on the next one.